No one in the United States should be retiring at 65 years old.
Retirement? What the hell is that?
It really do feel like we are not going to be able to retire.
I think retirement is a lie. We were told to work for 50 years, save it all for the end.
45 years old. And I'm supposed to be saving for retirement?
You know what I've been thinking about a lot lately, bro, is how much retirement is actually just a scam.
Hey boss, I'm putting in my 2 weeks notice. I'm gonna be leaving.
Oh, did you get another job?
No, I'm dying. I'm gonna die, because that's the only way I'm getting out of here. Oh boss, you remind me of my eldest grandson, because you are my eldest grandson. It's the only way I got this job. No, I can't get this done before EOD, but I can get it done before EOL, if that's okay.
Yeah, what's EOL?
End of my life, which will be next Friday, if that works. Hey, has anyone seen my shareholder value? Where's my shareholder value? I need to find my shareholder value. Yes, hi, HR. I would like to file a formal complaint. Every single bathroom in this office has diaper changing stations for babies. Not one of them has diaper changing stations for adults. And quite frankly, I find this offensive, okay? Every single bathroom is gender neutral. It's for all genders. It should also be for all diapers.
Hey everybody, I got a very exciting announcement. I'm gonna be leaving the company for a new opportunity.
Oh, congrats. What's the job? President of the United States.
Many of us are scared at the thought of retirement, not because of the lack of work, but because many of us won't be able to afford it. There are millions of us who aren't looking forward to the future because time and time again, things are getting out of reach for all of us. Millions can't find a job, can't get a home, can't afford kids, and yet we are told to keep putting in our 401k and we can live a happy retirement. Throw in the idea that politicians want to raise the age of retirement to 75, and we have the crisis that we are currently in now. Let's take a look at these clips and let me know what you think in the comments below. Retirement no longer exists.
No one in the United States should be retiring at 65 years old. Frankly, I think retirement itself is a stupid idea.
It's a shame you think retirement's stupid, Ben, because I pray every night that you retire, ideally as soon as possible. Unlike you, most people don't make a living by being the adult version of the kid in class who reminds the teacher they forgot to assign homework. A lot of people work really hard, sometimes on their feet or with their hands, 5, 6, 7 days a week. And what do they get? 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Half of Americans have less than $500 in savings, and only 15% of homes are affordable to the average family. Meanwhile, the richest 1% of Americans have as much money as the bottom 90% of us combined, and corporate profits are at an all-time high. For decades, people like you have been telling us that if we break unions, lower the minimum wage, and give more to corporations and the wealthy, it'll all trickle down to the rest of us. Now that we're finally here, people are breaking their backs and still struggling to get by. The best you've got is, well, that's too bad, but you don't really deserve to retire anyway. And as out of touch as you are, you know what's going on, because that was the point all along. And I think you're wrong. We do deserve to retire, and a whole lot more than that.
Here's the thing. Here's my thing. I done listened to what older people who've been working at they companies for 10, 20, 30, 40 years, and now they in so-called retirement, but have y'all noticed that none of the old people who technically are supposed to be retired, have y'all noticed that they still working? So many other people at my job, they like, oh, I'm retired, but they still working. I thought retirement meant you don't have to work a job. Why are so many older people still working? They're 60, they're 70, 80. Why are they still working, but they're retired? That doesn't make sense to me. It makes me realize that there is no such thing as retirement in America. You gonna always fucking work. Even when you so-called retire, you gonna always fucking work. Now, granted, when I ask these older people, okay, if you retired, why are you here clocking in every week? Oh, I just don't want to, be bored, or I don't want to just watch TV all day. You telling me you ain't got no life outside of working? Are you fucking kidding me? You telling me that without work, you feel like you ain't got no life, like all you gonna do is watch TV all day, so you intentionally decided to stay working because you didn't want to be bored? Bro, I could think of a million things that I could do outside of work that ain't watching TV.
Retirement? What the hell is that? I've been grinding and working since I was 16 years old, and honestly, I am just tired of it. And let me tell you something. The way the system is, retirement is it's just a fantasy for most people nowadays. In the last 5 years, the cost of living has literally doubled on almost everything. I mean, it really has. All this money printing and inflation has made the cost of living unbearable for most people. You got mortgage payments, car payments, insurance payments, food, credit card bills, utility bills, so on and so on and so on. Not to mention all the interest you're paying on all this debt you have, and you got to pay your taxes, of course. What does that leave you with? You got that combined with inflation. It's just awful. I don't know how some people are even going to make it. But now here I am in my late 50s, and I would love to be able to retire, but I see that as nearly impossible. Probably going to have to work till I drop. And I think that's the way it is for most people. And I want to know, when will the day come where you could just wake up in the morning, you have nothing to do, nobody to answer to, you could grab yourself a big cup of coffee, go sit out on your porch, and just smile. Is there such a thing? Let me know what you guys think. Do you feel this way? Do you think you'll ever be able to retire? Because the way I'm seeing it, for most people, it is just a fantasy.
I am so glad that people are waking up to this, the fact that retirement is a crock of shit, because it really is, all right? Why are we waiting till we're dead? Till we literally can't even walk, till we have a freaking Zimmer frame, and we have all these ailments and illnesses to literally enjoy life? That is the big, guys, I cannot believe society tricked us to thinking this is freaking normal. That's not normal to literally, what? You know what it is? It's like being in a narcissistic relationship. Okay, if you can even call it that, okay? That's what it's literally like. And then you wake up one day and you're like, holy shit, that was a fucking lie. I was in a web of lies, and I was made to believe that this thing was something when it wasn't fucking something, okay? Oh my gosh, retirement is a crock of bullshit. You're telling me you're going to have 2 weeks off a year until you are 65. By the time we get to that age, it's probably going to be more like 70, maybe even 75, okay? What are you doing when you're 75? What are you doing at 75? Literally, what are you doing at 75 where you're going to enjoy life? Not saying that you can't enjoy life at 75, okay? But what I am saying is you need to build a life where you can enjoy your life now, where you can take time off whenever you want to take time off, when you can take more than 2 weeks off. That is living a life. Living a life, oh my god, it frustrates me so much. So many people, 90% of the people that listen to this video, that is how they're going to live their lives. Oh my gosh, I beg you. I literally beg you. I beg you, find a way to escape that life. I cannot believe that we're in a narcissistic relationship with society. That's what we're in. We are in a narcissistic relationship with society, and you need to get out of it, okay? Just like there's all these accounts telling us how to get rid of the narcissist abuser in our life, we need to find a way to get out of the rat race, okay? Oh my god, retirement is a crock of bullshit. People literally, okay, the husband would get up, go to his 9 to 5 at the Ford car dealership until he was 65, and then he would sit and do what? Oh my gosh, it's the biggest crock of bullshit I've ever heard in my life. My brain can't even comprehend.
It really do feel like we are not going to be able to retire. I really mean that. I feel like if you're not already setting yourself up, I don't even know what that means now. The way the economy looking right now, I don't even know what that means. Before, I used to understand what that means. I'm seeing people losing real estate, or I'm hearing. You got people that just clocked out. They like, yo, F it, I'm not leaving. I don't even care if I don't make it to next year. Depression is probably at its all-time high. They do all these stats and all these polls. I never in my life ever took a poll test. So I try to understand how they come up with these stats to say that people are going to do this or people are going to do that. I know this. From the eye test and from what I'm seeing a lot of people out here struggling. I see a lot of people out here not making enough money. I see a lot of people out here confused to know what kind of direction that they trying to go into. Don't nobody really know. A degree don't hold the same amount of weight that it used to hold. A $100 don't go as far as it used to going to the grocery store. You got gas going through people's tanks like it's water. Starting to think they filling their tanks up with water the way it's going through. People go fill that tank up on a Friday. By Tuesday, they like, yo, hold up. Why am I burning gas at this high rate? We go to war, but at the end of the day, we got people that's over there fighting. They probably don't even really know what's the real reason why they over there fighting. It's definitely scary times right now. A lot of people not gonna make it. I don't care what nobody tell you. A lot of people not gonna make it. They're not. A lot of people not gonna get far. And the reason why they're not gonna get far is because it's set up this way. It's set up for them to be able to fail. Failure is something right now that's on the table for a lot of people, and they rather pick and select that checkbox right there and fail than to try. When you're spending as much money, or should I say, they're taking as much money out of your taxes as they are right now, it makes people realize that they're just working. They're in there half the year just for government. Be safe out here.
I think retirement is a lie. We were told to work for 50 years, save it all for the end, and it's all on the bet that you're going to be healthy and that the world's going to be stable enough to enjoy it. And at the end of the day, a job steal your identity before it even pays out. Think about it. There are so many people that forget why they're even at work. They forget why they're even going there. For me, I go to work so I can eventually get enough money and retire and then live my life how I choose. Not waking up at 4 a.m. to get ready for work. But so many people forget about the goal that they're working for. And then after time, they end up losing their identity to the work that they're doing. So that job that was just supposed to pay for something and kind of get you towards a goal ends up becoming your entire life. So it doesn't just take your time, it takes your entire essence from you. Like, think about it. There are so many people that get to where they can retire, but they don't. And I think that is because they realize they don't have a life outside of work. They realize that the only phone calls that they get are people from work. They don't have friends outside of work. They don't have any hobbies or interests. They never allowed themselves the time to do anything. I think a lot of people that really give a lot of time to their employment and go above and beyond, I think they suffer from this a lot. And more, I think everybody's falling for that trap of the hustle culture, the dedication to employment, all that type of stuff. Nobody teaches you that you have to guard who you are. You have to guard your soul. You have to guard it from the workforce stealing it from you. And you spend all that time focusing on going to work, saving, 10 or 15% of paycheck, saving for retirement, like packing lunches every day so that you don't spend all the money that you have, so you have a bit more to save, and kind of go through all the motions and keeping up with the Joneses. But you're betting all of this, you're betting a huge portion of that you're going to have good health at the end. You might get to retirement and blow your knee out. And if you blow your knee out, say now it takes 5 years to get a replacement. So say you retire at 65. You're all stoked on retirement. You've just spent the last 45 years working, like a good citizen, saving your money. Now you've hit retirement. Boom, now your knee goes out. Now you're bedridden on the couch for 5 years waiting for a replacement knee. Now you're 70. Then you got recovery and physio. It's shot. It's gone. So if you were somebody that continually pushed vacations away, pushed away enjoyment for retirement, you put You bet on retirement. Did you win? I would argue that he didn't, that person. I would argue that if they had enjoyed their life a bit more and maybe didn't, have tunnel vision on saving for retirement, that they would have enjoyed their life a bit more. We all don't get to old age, and we're all not healthy. I think it helps a lot if you pay attention to your health and you try and eat clean and you exercise. But I think everybody can agree that that's not really the mass majority of people, right? And then, through it, while you're working, you get really caught up, right? You get so busy, and you got all these expectations on you, and as you progress through your working career, there's more requirements and expectations from you. And then your health ends up suffering from that due to just stress, and you eat more fast food, right? You're in a rush. I don't have time to cook dinner tonight. I had to work late. Just get McDonald's. And then ultimately your health suffers through all of that. So you're not necessarily always building this healthy lifestyle that's supporting your goal for retirement. You're only monetarily supporting your retirement, but your health is going downhill.
45 years old, and I'm supposed to be saving for retirement, but yet I can't afford a trip to the grocery store. I can't fill my freezer. We have to just get the basics for each week because groceries are through the roof, gas is through the roof, and we haven't gotten any raises to combat that. How the hell are we supposed to retire? How are you Gen X mamas? How is Gen X generation even making it? Are we going to retire?
Planning on retiring after 2034, the government is saying plan to retire with less. That's because after 2034, income payroll taxes are only going to pay about 78% of the current Social Security benefits that you are owed. This is significant because if you use most retirement calculators today, it's going to tell you that you're going to receive the full amount of Social Security today, tomorrow, and past 2034, but that's simply not true. So what you should do today, if you're financially savvy, is calculate 78% of what your Social Security benefits would be, and then try to put more money away into your retirement accounts so that you can make up the difference. Share this with one of your friends who's working their butt off to retire right now, and for more news that makes you money, give me a follow.
You know what I've been thinking about a lot lately, bro, is how much retirement is actually just a scam. And I'll tell you why, bro. So my grandpa's 84, and I talked to him, and that guy wanted to do a lot of traveling, man. He made pretty good money in his life, but then he also just didn't get to travel a lot. He had a family, and then his second wife had health problems, and then he had health problems. And then all of a sudden, dude, all the stuff he wanted to do, he couldn't do. And every time I take a trip, I talk to him, bro, and he tells me like, man, I'm so glad you're doing this, while your body's young and you could still move around. And it's like waiting for an arbitrary date to do anything enjoyable is insane, dude. I mean, I just I understand wanting to save up and not be broke and old, cause that's scary too, right? No one wants to do that. So I'm not saying to not save any of your money and just YOLO everything, but I do think this arbitrary date of a retirement, unless you do a physical manual labor job like my dad does concrete, right? So for him, I'm yeah, bro, I hope he could retire. He deserves it. He's, his body's been broken down, all that. But every other type of job or not even a job, I guess the idea of retirement is that you're financially free enough where you don't have to go make money and you could survive, right? But the idea that you're going to sit there all day, every day, a lot of y'all have no hobbies anyways, and you're going to be happier because you're doing nothing all day is not true. I'm not saying you want to be a worker bee or a 9-to-5 slave. You could go do something more fulfilling for yourself. But retiring itself, saying I'm retired, I don't do anything now, that sounds cool on paper, but it's really not. You're actually going to be really depressed. And I think, or at least for me, bro, I would be really bored and depressed. So I feel like you should have to do something, even if it's not financial, you should go do something. And everything you want to do in retirement, you could probably do now if you just, didn't make so many excuses. And I say that to myself too. So just something I was thinking about.
This is really embarrassing to admit, honestly, but I'm in my 50s and I'm not ready for retirement. I financially cannot retire right now, and I feel like I'm not even really that close yet. So it's when you reach this point as an adult, I always thought that people my age had their crap together so much. Like they were so prepared for everything. They knew everything about life, and that they just had their stuff together. And I feel like I do have my stuff together. Like I've been a really hard worker my whole life. I've always had a job. I've had a job since I was like probably 12. And I bet a lot of you out there have too, if you're around my age, because we started working really, really early as kids. And I'm still sort of waiting for the financial success and stability to come around, even though I've done all the quote unquote right things, the things that I was told I should do to be successful financially. So, and that's what got me started thinking about doing this online thing. Is I just decided like I have to do something in addition to my 9 to 5 and get this figured out. So that's why I started this. And it's something that I think is not easy to admit, but it's the truth. I think that Gen X especially has been told one thing, but the economy has changed, the rules have changed, and now we're finding ourselves like trying to figure this whole thing out. So please tell me I'm not alone, because it's a little embarrassing to admit.
Most people aren't going to be able to retire. Sorry for being the bearer of bad news here. That whole lie of, save $1 million in your 401k and you're going to be able to retire and live in the Florida Keys and enjoy the last 40 to 45 years of your life. It's a lie. It's a lie that was the truth for boomers. And to this day, we still spew it. And so many people hit like 50 years old and they look around and go, oh, I'm never going to be able to retire. I still can't believe people fall for it. Like the only reason I have a 401k is so that I could take loans out against it. And it's like free money. Other than that, retirement accounts are fucking useless unless you don't know how to use your money. Like having a huge lump sum of money that you save up for 50 years, that doesn't matter. Yeah, it's nice to have, but at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to retire and live off that for the last 40 years of your life. Not at the rate we're going right now. You got to focus on some cash flow. You got to focus on something paying you every single month. And guess what? When you do that, and you focus on just getting payments instead of a huge lump sum of money, you can retire much sooner. Riddle me this. Would you rather work for 50 years to have $1 million sitting in an account and you never make any other money? Or would you rather work for 15 years and have $10,000 a month? That's what I'm doing. I'm going with that second one. Just give me my payments every month. There's a lot of ways you can go about it. I go through real estate. My goal is to retire by 35. And as you can imagine, there's no way in hell I'd be able to save up $1 million in my 401k by then. But I can make $10,000+ a month in that time by investing into things that give me cash flow month to month. That is the way you're going to retire. That is the only way you're going to be able to retire and live comfortably. Because guess what? $1 million sitting around does nothing but lose value. Yeah, most retirement accounts are able to outproduce inflation. Not by much, but they can. You know what doesn't get beat out by inflation? Housing prices. Rent prices, assets, businesses, services, those will never get outdone by inflation. They're going to go up right along with it. That is how you retire. You invest into those things, you get your cash flow, and you're done. Stop trying to do the 50-year, oh, I'm going to retire with $1 million. It doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work anymore, and I'm sorry to say that. There are so many people today realizing that. You think these old folks want to be out in the workforce still? Truly and honestly? I saw like a 70-year-old woman working at a gas station the other day. That's embarrassing. And that's no fault to her. It's just not possible to retire anymore. You have to do something different. The system doesn't work. Like I said, I don't even use my retirement account as a retirement account. I use it as free money that I'm going to take loans out against and pay myself back. Guess where those loans go? Those tax-free loans go into investments that make me more money. And then I take tax-free loans out against the houses that I purchase, or I refinance them or whatever. It's all tax-free. And guess what? It goes into more shit. That's how you do it.
Retirement doesn't exist. It's a concept created by the government a few decades ago. What's real is that you were born here and you're gonna die there. If you hate your job and feel miserable 5 days a week, you're not planning your future. You're wasting a part of your life.
I'm just in bed and I'm thinking about retirement. Will any of us actually be able to do it? Us average individuals making an average salary? if you don't have multiple streams of income and you're just relying on one source of income, probably not. I know that I won't ever be able to retire. And I'm thinking about how old I am now. I'm 34. I'm already halfway to the age of retirement, which is just insane to think about. Another example of just how quickly life is going by and how ill-prepared I feel for the future. And I'm not even a homeowner. I have no money in savings, and I'm constantly battling this idea of creating an online business and where my income will be coming from in the next few years, because I know the 9-to-5 life isn't for me, and most companies don't even offer pensions anymore. So I asked myself, will any of us actually be able to retire and live comfortably? I think about my parents when they were my age, how they already had a house, they had kids, they had a couple of cars in the driveway, and they were already building their investments and building towards a future. Ultimately, they got divorced, but not the point. I don't know, I'm very fearful for the future. Which is why I feel like so many people are doing van life or just going to live in different countries and just living day to day. I guess that's the best that we can do.
My grandmother is 69. She retired, say, 5-6 years ago. Yeah, that woman works at a grocery store. Like, she's the checkout cashier lady, and that people are like, no, old people get bored. Right, well, if old people get bored, why wouldn't they go volunteer? Why don't they go do things for free? So convenient that the thing that gets you out of boredom also makes you money. After you retire to stop working? Right, because the rising cost means that they still need money. And that the Social Security check isn't enough, so they still have to work.
For real, we get one body. This is the only body we get. And we're supposed to run it down to the ground until we're 70 years old for some billionaire. And I need y'all to understand that 70 years is almost your whole life, if you really think about it. I don't know anybody personally who lived to be 100. Let's just say we all live to be 100 years old, which we don't. We all have a death day, and we don't know when that is. It's not even promised, is what I'm saying.
I've just seen a comment on a TikTok video that said that the reason why we all can't find or struggling to find jobs is because old people can't afford to retire anymore. Yep.
I took all of my money out of my retirement accounts because you're only young once. What's the fucking point of saving for retirement? When I'm old, I want to have a job. I want to be a librarian or a teacher or like help out the community in some sort of way to support myself. I'm not going to need my retirement money until I am so sick that I am bedridden. And I would rather have that money early in my 20s, even if 7K would then be 55K. I bet you by the time I'm 70, I would have wished that I spent that 55K to go on a trip when I was in between jobs, when I was in between places to live, when I had that free time, instead of just doing nothing and being fucking frugal. I bet when I'm old, I'm gonna have retirement money because I'm gonna be making bank when I'm younger. I can still make bank when I'm older, okay? Anyways, I'm probably gonna look back and be like, I wish I didn't drive that shitty ass car that I felt embarrassed to be in, that set off my nervous system every time I had to go out of the house. I'm happy that I bought myself that new car. And you don't know what the world is going to look like by the time we're retired. Like, if history does repeat itself, there could very well be an economic collapse. The government could get overthrown by the time we're of retirement age. There could be a war. China could take over the entire world and we could become communist.
Y'all motherfuckers, when I tell y'all to watch my back, it's to watch my fucking back. What the fuck, man?
What, they was blowing your back out again?
Look, stupid ass. All you want to do is run around fucking switching your guns. What good is that for us?
And you want to sit on roofs with a sniper camping. How's that going to help?
Man, you know what? Just watch my back or I'm cutting y'all both the fuck off the internet. Fuck with me, watch.
I have never been able to understand the concept of retirement, and I think it might be because I lost my grandfather a few months before his retirement, and my dad and my uncle both passed away at 37, and so I don't even think about living that long. But I just don't understand the concept of working your entire life, never getting to do the things that you enjoy, never having experiences that you want to have, and spending time with people that you love, to then get to the end of your life and be able to do those things, maybe, but at an age that you won't even be able to enjoy them to the same level that you would, and the experiences you won't be able to have because you didn't have them when you were younger, just never makes any kind of sense to me.
And I honestly feel like the retirement age should be around 40 to 50 years old. Because why is it at 60 to 65 when you only live to about 70 or 65?
Main reason is honestly they want us to work until we die. Capitalism was never made for us, the people who are poor, the people who are the working class, to be able to retire. That's not what it's for. The lower income you are too, the more likely you're going to die sooner than someone who is rich. Why? When you're rich, you have so much more access to all of these medical procedures. You have so much more access to health things that you can get done before it happens to you. Well, insurance is only going to cover that for you if you are poor, if you already have this thing and the doctor's like, yeah, we need this. And even then, it's not always covered. So the whole reason of 71 to 61 and retiring at 65 is, well, because at that point, they basically consider you're going to be dead. They consider you're going to be so broken from working so long and so many hours that it really doesn't even matter because you're just going to die soon. So yeah, sure, you can live off the system for a couple of years. That's why Social Security was made, because they just figured out people are going to live maybe 5 years after that.
For many of us who are working, we probably won't see retirement. Let's break it down. A lot of us are struggling to find a career. If you start a career late, you won't have as much time to build wealth. Even if you have a job, the cost of living is insanely priced, and it keeps rising every single year. Throw in the fact that cars are overpriced, homes are overpriced, and our food is more plastic than food at this point, and it'll be amazing if we live long enough to retire. It's not impossible, but it's certainly getting harder and harder each year. Do you think you'll be able to retire? Let me know in the comments, but most importantly, thank you for watching.